Hi everyone, my name is Ngayan Zun, and today I'm going to talk about how Angry Bird is connected to Physic. Angry Bird is a video game created by Finnish computer game developer Rovio Entertainment, inspired by the game Crush the Castle. Angry Bird attracted the world's attention due to it having a combination of fun gameplay, comical style, and low price. Its popularity led to many spin-offs such as Angry Bird Rio, Angry Bird Go, and Angry Bird Star Wars. Angry Birds is a strategy puzzle game that allows you to use a slingshot to launch a limited number of birds towards the pig. Angry Bird is a game with a simple objective, which is destroying all the enemies, which is the pig, and buildings to earn points. From the video, we can see that the bird launches from a slingshot, and the slingshot launches with an angle. So let me draw it out. Slingshot, bird, and piggies. So when the bird launches at an angle, the flight will be different because that in order for the bird to hit the pig, you need to adjust the angle so it will fly a curved path instead of a straight path. Let's take an example. If you launch it like straight away without any angle, you will only fly straight and wouldn't hit the pig at all. So the pig wouldn't get destroyed and you wouldn't get points and win the game. So in order for you to clear the level, you need to launch it from an angle. And there is a difference by launching it at different angles. So let's say we launch it at a smaller angle. Let's say here, angle 1. The flight path would somehow be like this. So you can see from the flight path, even if you launch it from a smaller angle, it wouldn't hit the pig. So in order for you to hit the pig, you need to launch it from a larger angle. Somehow like this. So you see there's a difference when you launch it from different angle. However, with an increase in angle, the distance traveled by the bird will decrease too due to the separate direction it's flying. So if you launch it at a smaller angle, it will fly more towards the X direction and less towards the Y direction. However, if you launch it at a larger angle, it will fly more towards the Y direction instead of the X direction. We can actually use the equation v equals to vt plus 1 over 2 ad to determine the distance traveled by the bird. So for us to use this equation, we will separate the flight into Y direction and X direction. And we are only going to take the X direction because we want to see the distance traveled by the bird. And if we take the X direction, physics theory said that if you only take X direction in projectile motion, normally the acceleration will be 0. So with acceleration being 0, this equation can be cut out, so we only have this. However, since it is a projectile motion, we need to find only the X direction, which will make the equation become something like this. Okay, so first we'll make the velocity and the time constant. Let's say velocity is 20 meters per second, while the time is 5 seconds. Now that we have a constant velocity and time, we can see that a difference in angle will change the displacement. Let's take two angles for example, angle 1 being 30 degrees and angle 2 being 70 degrees. Okay, so we'll just sub it in. So the first one, the distance will be 20 times 5 cos 30. So after calculating it out, let me get the calculator, we will get 20 times 5. We'll get 86.6 meters. Let's take the second angle. 20 times 5 cos 70. The angle will be, the distance will be 34. So you can see how big the difference is when you change the angle, how big the difference in distance is. So we can see that angle inside projectile motion affects the distance traveled of the bird in x direction.
The second law states that if the net external force on an object is not zero, the object will accelerate in the directions of the net force. The magnitudes of the acceleration is directly proportional to the magnitudes of the net force and inversely proportional to the object's mass. This is seen when the pads collide with the building and the building falls backwards. The force of the pad was larger than the building opposite force. That we can see from the video that Newton's first law and second law is seen in the pad's motion. Newton's first law states that if the external net force on an object is zero, the object will remain at rest or continue to move at a constant velocity. Newton's first law is seen when the bat is flying in the air, where it keeps moving as there is no external force restricting it. However, its motion is stopped when it collides with the peaked building. When it collides with the big buildings, a net force is created which pushes the buildings backwards, making it fall down.
The game Angry Bird is actually connected to our society and societal needs as well. The concept of the game is actually used in war and hunting since the medieval era. In war, we can see that people in the past used cannons or sieging weapons to siege castle and destroy enemy from afar. So cannons and those trebuchets and sieging weapons use the concept of projectile motions to launch an object from afar to hit the enemies so that they wouldn't have the risk of getting counter-attacked. In hunting, when people hunt for food and prey, normally animals, they use a bow and arrow, or for smaller prey, they'll use a slingshot, which is technically the same as the game which uses a slingshot to launch the bird. So in hunting, people uses bow or slingshot to launch their projectile from afar using an angle to hit the prey, so that they wouldn't need to go near the prey and risk alerting them. However, in hunting, hunters need to have a high level of skill to precisely hit the prey, which needs a lot of training, and that is why they utilize the angles and projectile motions to their advantage. The game Angry Bird can also be seen to have connection to our environment in the form of sports. So sports like soccer, tennis ball, and golf balls all can be seen to have relation to the game Angry Birds. If you see how golf works and soccer works, normally when you kick or hit the ball will travel in a projectile motion, which uses the same concept on how birds flew in the game Angry Birds. Also, there are also a lot of obstacles that you need to overcome when you are playing golf or maybe soccer, like players. You need to bypass the players, or maybe there's hills that you need to hit through in golf. So just like Angry Birds, you need to be creative and see how you can overcome them without facing them directly. Okay. The game Angry Birds is also connected to the technologies of our world in the form of machines such as tennis ball machine and threshing machines. So let's take tennis ball machines for example. Even though there are a lot of multiple designs by many companies, ultimately the usage of the tennis ball machines is the same, which is to keep a lot of tennis balls inside the bucket and launch them out one by one. So when the ball is launched, it will launch through a tube which can be angled, which can be adjusted to an angle so that they will travel in different, so that the flight path will be different, like a curved path or a straight path, to let the tennis players train on different balls. So the machine uses a similar mechanism to the slingshot in the game Angry Birds, where both of them can launch projectile either in a straight path or a curved path, depending on how the player wants it to be.